Okay, good people. Traders, welcome to Awesome Forex, and it is another day, it is another weekend, and it is time for analysis again. Always I do analysis on gold, so I want to share some tips on direction of gold next week. I'll share some important things that, or what to call the outlooks now. I'll share my outlook on gold, and then you can incorporate with your own analysis to see if they align or in any way. So that's what I do all the time. So this is not just a trading advice that, oh, you have to trade in that way. No, always doing what I think is going to happen, and then you can decide in your own ways on how you are going to trade. But mainly we have signal service, maybe we have signal service, and yeah, it's working. We have subscribers, so in our public channel always we share results, results on those signals. So you see, like this one by gold, this was the on the 5th of May, and also we had this on the 4th of May. So we had a signal and then signal and results. So one of the signal here was pushed very strongly, or was supported now very strongly due to FOMC news. And then we had the last one on a Friday. Always we had this one on the 5th. So this one was supported with NFP. Now we were buying, so NFP during release, always they pushed up a little bit, and because we were in a buy, so it was supported and then hit targets. So we had those targets hit on a Friday. So now those are the signals, but there are a few problems that are related with the signals. So one of the problem is pressure from the subscribers. Now there are certain subscribers that induce pressure to me. You can find that maybe the day has begun and maybe we are about half a day. So most people, they come in box, oh guy, we don't see the signal, So sometimes you can release a signal because of pressure from people. So if you're a subscriber, you have to just relax, settle. When the signal comes, always I'll share. And if there's no signal, it's better to stay out of the market and not forcing things to happen. So that's how things goes. And also there are problems that are related with the subscribers who subscribe and then they don't see results from their subscription. So there are a few things related with that. First of all, there are those traders who are changing their lot sizes. So you find that this trade may be taken with certain lot size, then the next trade may be in a different lot size. So you can find that when you open a small lot size trade and then you end up winning, then in the next trade you open a bigger lot size, then you end up losing. So you lose almost everything that you won in the first trade. So that is problem. And also this goes straight with the number of trades. Always, if you open maybe 3 trades in each signal, make sure that you will open 3 trades in every now. So don't change. Maybe this trade you open 3, this trade you open 4 trades, 5, 7, or anything else. Then other signal, other signal you open a single trade. So always you can find that you open a single trade in a winning signal, and then you will open 5 trades in a losing signal. At the end of the day, you will end up losing your account. So most of people, they end up maybe generalizing that signals are not working, but always they don't put together the basic trading knowledge. When you need signal, at least you must have a basic trading knowledge. If you don't have a basic trading knowledge, things like breaking even, so sometimes maybe a signal is moving, now a trade is moving in our direction, you have to break even and everything. So those are things that you must have by your own. If you need that guide, probably you can say, maybe I need a guide on how I will be controlling my trades. So that's very important. And also another thing is, another problem related with signal subscribers is not utilizing all the signals. So you can find that sometimes someone may receive a signal maybe on Monday or Tuesday in any way and trade, then end up losing. Then on maybe Thursday, another signal, that person will not trade because is afraid of losing, and you will find that that signal has ended up in a win. So basically we find that subscription is going to end while you are in a loss because of fear. So that is also another problem that affect subscribers. And also some subscribers, they have a short-term subscriptions. Always you can subscribe maybe in a week. And always in trading, for those who know trading actually, they know that sometimes we can have a winning week, we can have a losing week. So maybe you have subscribed in a losing week, so finally we'll end up in a loss. And in a coming week, when your subscription has already ended, you'll find that we are in a win. So you'll go out with the idea that the signals are not working, but the problem is the short subscription. That's why I decided to extend time at least to have 2 weeks for every subscription. So that's how things go. So let me go straight to the analysis. And because we are in the beginning of the month, now this will be for the coming week. Now this analysis is for the coming week. We are in the beginning of the month. Today is 7th of May. So basically, I want to see how the last month was crossed, and then how this month has opened. So basically, removing my drawings now, maybe removing my drawings. What I see there is last month was bearish and it pushed a little bit lower, and then buyers came in pushing a little bit up. So this month has opened with a push to the downside first. Now it had a push to the upside, a little bit push, then a strong push to the downside, then buyers still came in again pushing it to the upside. So this is still an indicator that buyers, they are still in, buyers, they are still in, buyers, they are still in. So mainly this is what I see in a monthly time frame. I can share the idea of those buyers taking control. We have rejection. Then in a weekly time frame, what I can talk here is the same thing. In a weekly time frame, what I can talk here is just the same thing. We have this push now. This week opened with a push to the downside, then buyers, they are pushing it back to the upside. So it shows, it still shows that there is some power to the upside. There is some power to the upside, power to the upside, power to the upside. So we go on to daily time frame. So I'm just giving you a highlight now. In lower time frames, it's where I will go in detail to show a clear direction, to show the important things that we have to consider. So I'm in a daily time frame, whereby in daily time frame, what I see here is maybe I can talk about this region here. We have this candle. We had a very strong bearish candle. Then we had this something like indecision, but in a very specific way, we call this a spinning bottom. Now this is a spinning bottom, a bullish spinning bottom. So now mainly this spinning bottom has not yet broken, maybe having other candles moving below it. So having this is an indicator that we are still up. This is an indicator that we are still up. We are still up. We are pushing to the upside. So now we can incorporate other things, my labels, whereby based on my labels, I have this trend line. Now I can talk about this trend, and let me change the color and make it a little bit thick. So now I have this trend line whereby it was respected several times. Now price was bouncing there. It tried to break it somewhere there and then failed, come back again. So here it's just for the first time price has successfully closed above the trend line. So it is moving above the trend line. So this is an indicator that buyers have successfully broken this, and the current movement to the downside, it's just a retest. The current movement to the downside, it is just a retest. So this is also a clear indicator that from the monthly to the weekly, and then we have the daily, everything is like up. Everything seems to be up. Everything seems to be up. So moving to 4-hour time frame, maybe you can share something there. In 4-hour time frame, what I can share there is we can have the concept of wave count now. Always I do wave count. I do things like trend line support and resistance. I do chart patterns now, things like wedges, diagonals, maybe sometimes triangles. So now in a based on wave count, from that turning point, now price has started moving in a 5-wave up. Price is moving in a 5-wave up. So having those 5-wave up, it is completion of the first move to the upside. So this movement to the downside, it is a correction now. It is correcting the previous move up now. This one is correcting the previous move to the upside. So the correction has begun. Now the correction has begun. And maybe this movement to the downside now, this correction has got a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So always based on our wave principle, a 5-wave move against the higher degree trend is a beginning of correction. A 5-wave move against the higher degree is a beginning of correction. So the basic idea here is, price is correcting the 5-wave move up, and always based on the concept of depth of correction. This correction must reach at least, maybe now in most cases we expect it within the 4th, but here the 3rd wave was extended, so probably now in most cases when wave 1 is extended, we expect the correction to reach the 2nd wave. But all in all, correction in wave 2, they are deep, so mostly we are looking for price to reach at least this region here, on the level of the 2nd wave. It must not break this level down, so it will be within this level. So the basic concept here is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is just A. Now then this movement to the upside, now in lower time frames I will describe this clearly. Now we have B, then we are looking for C to the downside. We are looking for C to the downside. So mostly we'll be looking for this. On opening of the market now, I'm talking about those things that are expected to happen on the opening of the market. We'll be looking for the push to the downside. It is correction now. In higher time frames, we are up. So, yes, let me move to other time frames. Basically, I can move to 2 hours time frame. Now, for those who know my analysis every day, most of the time I do 4 hours and 1 hour. So, I've added the 2 hour time frame because it has something to do with my analysis. So, now, mainly in the 2 hour time frame, what I see here is we have this move to the upside, which is a WXY. Now this move was correcting a 5-wave move to the downside. So it was correcting a 5-wave move to the downside, but it had a combination. A WXY, it is just a combination of corrective structures. I think those ELLIOTT wave analysts, they know this. So having the WXY and everything has already completed that correction, so you can include things like Fibs. Now you can include things like Fibs, the Fibonacci retracement. It has retraced to around 61%, which is very clear that this correction has completed. So we are looking for a push to the downside, whereby push to the downside is correction also. So we can measure also the Fib for this one, Fibonacci correction, this one. It must correct to around 61. It is already within 61, so we are looking for the next key level, a 78%. And since this is the 2nd wave, so it is most likely to reach the 78%. So that's how things go. So now, what are we going to watch now? Let me go to 1 hour time frame now, my last time frame in my analysis. So in 1 hour time frame, we already have this ABC. Now we already have this, so I took those labels. But mainly we already have the AB, so we are looking for C. So mainly this C, how far it's going to travel, we can measure a Fibonacci extension now. We can measure an extension from there to this region, this one, then back to the. So now it is always it is principle that always correction may end up. Wave C can end up 0.618 or can move up to 1, which is equality, but for this place, for this position, it's not most likely to move up to above more than 0.6. So that's how things goes. So what's important is we have to watch for the break. Now price must break this trend line now. I can change the color. Now we have this trend line here. So on opening of the market, price must break this trend line, correct to the upside, then we can short on opening of the market. So those are my observations. Thank you for your time. Make sure that you subscribe